In an ever-growing market of products, you really need to make sure that your product photos stand out from the crowd and stop scrollers in their tracks. Yes, the standard flat lay and white background shots are great, but if you really want to grab your viewers' attention, you need to think a little bit outside of the box. So in this video, I'm going to show you 8 ways that you can get creative with your product photos. So you ready? Let's get started. Most products are usually shot from above or side on. This can get boring really quickly, not just for the viewer, but also for yourself. Mix it up by moving your camera around to different angles until you find something that looks nice to you. Shooting your product from many different angles will give you lots of different things to post on social media. For this photo of a sandal, I laid it on top of some coconuts so that I could get down low and shoot up towards it. For these jars of black garlic, I shot from slightly above so that you can see the label both on the front of the jar and the one on the lid. You don't have to show the whole of your product in your photos. Are there details in your product that you can show off? Will getting in close show up the quality of your product? Details add another level to your image, encouraging your viewers to look at them for longer. Here I have shot just the label of the bottle so that the viewer can clearly see what the product is that they are purchasing. A macro lens is great for getting details of your photos. To learn more about capturing details of your products, please check out my blog on this. The link is in the description. Is there an emotion that you want to be associated with your product? Maybe happy, excited, relaxed, something else. Adding an emotion to your images helps your viewer to connect with that image and encourages them to react or interact with your post. There are many ways to add emotion to an image, and you don't always have to have a person in an image to add emotion. For example, with this candle, I shot it outside in the garden to show the connection that the product has to nature. Also, nature quite often represents a relaxed feel, a relaxed emotion, which is what you would hope to get when burning a candle like this. Using color is also a great way to add emotion. For this image of chocolate, I used the brand's color of purple, but also mixed it with red, the color of love, to show how this chocolate can be given as a gift to someone that you love. Everyone loves photos of their products being used, but if you show a photo of your product being used in a way that maybe people wouldn't expect, it's going to make your viewer take a double look. A good way to approach this technique is to think about what the most common use of your product is and then photograph the opposite of what that use is. This battery train is a good example of that. Creating an object or shape that we are familiar with but is made up from a product that we wouldn't necessarily expect it to be made up from. Movement is always a great way to draw someone into your image, as it creates a sense of anticipation. We are wanting to be part of the action and know what is going on. Try taking a picture 1 second before something happens with or to your product. This is a great way to show off how your product is being used without actually showing the end result. Here I've captured the knife just before it goes through the sausage. We all know what's going to happen when the knife goes down, but still we are waiting for it to happen. Color is a very powerful visual tool. When used correctly, it can really help make your product or photo jump out at the viewer. Use props that are the same color as your product to really emphasize that color. Or use props that are an opposite color to your product to really make the product stand out. Here I have used 3 of the key colors in the lollipop to create a fun and interesting background which really matches the product. Did you ever make shadow puppets as a kid? Wasn't it fun? So why don't we take the same approach with our product photos? Grab a torch and start lighting your product in different ways, moving the torch around, and of course taking pictures of any interesting shadows that you create. Here I've used this technique with a leaf to create an interesting pattern on a white background. It will depend on your product as to whether or not it actually needs to be in the photo. If your product has a very distinctive shape, you can get away with just photographing the shadow, like I have done with this pair of scissors. If you have multiple products or a series of similar products, then you can use them to create interesting patterns. Simply lay them out in an interesting way, like I have done with these razor blades. This technique usually works best as a flat lay, but you can get creative using different camera angles as well. Although it is called a background, it's still a very important part of your image. Get creative with using different colors in your background to help tell the story of your product or brand. You could also use lights in your background to create different techniques and different effects, like I have done here with this nail polish photo. The technique I used here is called painting with light. I used a long shutter speed and basically just threw a glow stick around to create this green glow behind the product. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to learn more about painting with light. So that's it. I hope you are feeling more inspired to take some product photos now. If you want to learn more about product photography, please come and join my Facebook group. The link is in the description. And it's where I share lots and tips and tricks on improving your photos. Lastly, don't forget to have fun with photography. Think outside of the box, get creative and experiment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.